really consistent, really strong. In hindsight, there's not much I would have sided or changed differently. Of course, I didn't know I was going to lose to Insectors, but I mean, in hindsight, it's still pretty legit. It's still pretty legit. What else? Shout out Anthony. Y'all subscribe. Yeah, subscribe to him.
Anthony Nation 623 right here.
Yeah, this is exclusive. Actually, the first deck profile I do. I usually don't do them, but this is actually my second back-to-back event I topped, that I've appeared in. Ycs Dallas, I topped with Dino Rabbit. Came in 6th place. Thanks, man. Came in 6th place in there, and I came in 6th place again. You know, I just couldn't get over the hump, and it's always crazy because I play the most unfortunate decks. Like, there's only one deck in the top, and I play that deck. It's like, today I play Insectors, only Insectors at top. I play in Dallas, I play Heroes, the only hero that was left. It's just insane, but I mean, I don't know. What I felt to be the best, the strongest matchup, the strongest everything in this format, you know, I feel like it was Dino Rabbit for this event, especially with all of the mermail hype and things like that. My only losses in the entire tournament were to Wind Up, Chris Hentz, and top 8. I lost top 8. Those are my only losses in the entire event. The deck is I still feel it's pretty solid, and Dino Rabbit is taking over. Dino Rabbit's coming back. Of course, it's coming back. A lot of people beg to differ. A lot of people jump to the mermail. You know, if Dino Rabbit is played correctly, it's still the most dominant deck out there. It's still the most dominant. I had some pretty hot tech in here also. A lot of people were, you know, pretty stunned and pretty shocked on some of the card choices that I made. But I mean, I've been playing Rabbit for a while, and I know it inside and out. Some people just say you just summon Rabbit and win. It's not that simple anymore. When everybody's dropping 4 to 5 back rows and 3 back rows and bottomlesses and compulsors and everything. So, I mean, it still has to be played accordingly, and it still has to be played correctly in order to still be successful in any event. So, I mean, without further ado, I'll get right into the deck. First off, you have 2 Rescue Rabbits. That's standard, pretty standard. You got the Tour Guide engine, pretty standard. The Vanillas. You got the Sabersaurus, the Cabazals. Yeah, Direct Wiba. That's a card that I actually love it. It's insane against wind-ups. It's insane against anything. Just Wiba's just insane. It wins games by itself, and it's a rabbit all-in-one by itself without even playing a Rescue Rabbit. It's insane. Wiba should be played in any rabbit deck, anytime. It's been played in both of my top 8 decks. I finished 6th place 2 times with it. It's insane. Wiba's insane. Triple Maxi. A lot of people were asking me why Triple Maxi? Because a lot of people chose Rabbit for the event. So Rabbit alone, I mean, it's still a +1. You know, it's still a +1, maybe even more. That's just against Rabbit. So it's subpar against Rabbit. Wind-ups, it automatically stops wind-ups, hands down. You play it whenever they summon Deep Sea Diva, they have to stop or they lose. So Rabbit, wind-ups, I mean, Maxi is just good against everything. In Mermail, it's good against just agents, it's good against everything. It's just Mermails, it's insane. Maxi is a card that should be played in triples, and for this specific event, I feel so anyway. You have 1 Thunder King. Thunder King actually is one of the strongest cards in the format. I mean, against Rabbit, not pretty much you can do besides try to crash, KO, stops wind-up, stops the factory, stops synchro summons, XYZs, stops everything. Thunder King is amazing. Thunder King is by far one of the best cards of the format, and I think it should be played all the time.
So why'd you run it at 1?
I just didn't like the consistency of it. You know, you usually, with Dino Rabbit, your normal summons are already taken up. So Thunder King was always only good as an opener. It's only good as an opener. You don't want to have too many. I chose not to run 2. My teammate Joe Torres, he chose to run 2. I chose not to, just due to the simple fact that you already have to do enough normal summoning in the deck. And Thunder King, I just feel like it's not something you want to constantly summon and let them build up. Now, opener, outside of Rabbit, Thunder King is the best opener in the game. Outside of Dino Rabbit. I mean, outside of Rescue Rabbit, it's the best opener in the game. The hottest tech of the day that a lot of people were shocked off of, well, one of the hottest techs was Tragodia. I play Tragodia just for the simple fact I run triple max seed. Tragodia won me multiple games, multiple occasions. They shockmaster. I max them. They push through. They shockmaster my back row. Card traps. They attack. Think the game is over. I drop Tragodia, and the game completely changes around. Triple maxi paired up with Tragodia is insanely good. Tragodia drops. Tragodia is a problem. Rabbits, of course, I pitch my 4s. I take whatever I feel I need. I mean, you could pitch 4s. You could pitch 3s. You know, you have basically everything to pitch. You can copy levels. You can act it as a level 3, summon a level 3, overlay, leave you. It's just multiple plays. It gives the deck a lot of versatility. One of the most interesting plays I made with this is actually summoning. I played a heavy storm. Guy goes chain compose to my set Sangan. I go put it back, summon, attack Sabersaurus. I take 900. I drop Tragodia, search rescue rabbit, attack over his monster, and from there on out, Tragodia stayed on the board at least another 7-8 turns, like almost the whole game. Tragodia was just insane. Backed up with Lance, you didn't have to play no cards at all. You don't need to play any cards. Tragodia can win games by itself. Stops OTKs, which a lot of mermails and things like that try to do. Stops OTKs. It's just really good against everything. And Gores, of course, is pretty standard.
A little bit.
Yeah, Gores is Gores. Everyone knows about Gores, so no need to explain that. Now we can just move on to the spells. I have a Pot of Avarice, pretty self-explanatory. Auto win, it wins games. Also, that's another interesting play with Tragodia. Whenever you drop Tragodia and you plus 2 cards back to your hand, I mean it's a +1, so track gains another 600 attack. So that's pretty insane. Also, double Forbidden Lance. Lance is still one of the hottest cards out. I feel like it's still one of the hottest cards out. Still one of the best cards out. I don't think it could. I honestly don't feel like anything can really match the power of Lance, especially in Dino Rabbit. It's insane. I wouldn't play it in 3s. It gets clogged up a lot, so you wouldn't want to play that. I have 2 MSTs in the heavy. A lot of people ask me why 2 MST. You don't want to blind space an Abyss Spear. Dragons are out. I mean, it's just not as hot as 3 MSTs used to be. I mean, aside the 3rd one, of course, but. Two in heavy is with double lances seems to be more than enough that I need. Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Soul Taker.
Why'd you choose a Soul Taker for main deck?
Soul Taker, just for the simple fact that I knew there was gonna be a lot of rabbits for this event. A lot of rabbits. I mean, they go Doka, or Lagia, Forces of Negation. Any big monster, Leviathan, anything big, it just completely gets over it. Reapers, anything, it just completely gets over it. It's really good. I chose not to play Book of Moon, only for the simple fact of Book of Moon is a neg in a sense, and there's nothing really you want to book this format. There's just nothing. I mean, you play Book, they play Lance, you lose. It doesn't really matter. So Soul Taker was actually a better fit for that. Onto the traps. It's got two bottomless trap holes. Pretty self-explanatory. 2 dimensional prisons, of course, self-explanatory. You have 1 Mirror Force, 1 Torrential Tribute. Those are pretty staples. You have the Solemn lineup, which only plays 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Solemn Judgment.
That seems like the only thing. That seems like a lot of people are doing nowadays. Now, why did you choose to only run 1 Solemn Warning?
Paying a lot of life points is from that. Paying a lot of life points is really harsh. I mean, I drew it consistently. I drew it when I needed it. I drew it when it mattered. I drew it, so of course that was pretty awesome. Next, I opted to play over the second one. I opted to play this card, Compose. Compose is very critical. It gets rid of Zen mains, it gets rid of any XYZ, it gets rid of Doka, it gets rid of basically everything that you want to get rid of, it gets rid of it. I mean, it's just a 1-for-1. They neg in a sense, and you plus, and it's just insane. Get stuff off the board, you can protect your monsters, it's insane. Compose is really good. Of course, 1 Starlight Road. Road is pretty self-explanatory. You know, you play a lot of back row, you have to play Starlight Road. And for the hottest tech of the day, outside of Tragodia, Vanity's Emptiness. This card wins games. It won me multiple games. It won me 3 to 4 matches alone, by itself. Royal Oppression is banned for a reason, and people fail to realize that. Royal Oppression is banned for a reason. This is a Royal Oppression all over again.
Royal Oppression, you pay 800. Vanity's Emptiness, you pay nothing. But if a monster, it is basically if a card goes to your grave, I mean, it doesn't, it just blows up. But it's a lot of ways that you can get around that. Most of my favorite plays is going into a Exceed. Exceed monsters don't count to blow it up. So, you know, you can go Rabbit and go Vanities, set Vanities. I mean, there's nothing that can really get over your lag yet. I mean, if you chain it and they space, you negate with lag, it stays there. Now you have a 24 beater and a Vanity's Emptiness on the board, and it's just really good. It wins multiple games, hit people by surprise. No one would ever expect it. No one knows about it. My deck was on me and my teammate Joe. Shout out Joe Torres. He gave me the Tragodia tech. Vanity's Emptiness. It's just the hottest card. Our decks were the only 2 decks in the YCS that mained it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty much a deck. I mean,
Anything you would change for like side deck wise or anything?
I mean, in hindsight, I'll drop 2 Imps for 2 Veilers.
Okay.
I chose Imps. It was a last minute decision, and it actually kicked me in the butt because I actually played in something that Effect Veiler was very much needed in. So, I mean, in hindsight, of course, I would just go drop the Imps, but Dark World's topped as well. It's just off the luck of what you play. So
Now for my personal preference, for my personal thing, did you side macros?
I didn't side macros.
No. What was your reason for not siding them?
Everyone brings in too much back row hate. While I look at it like, why would you side a card that everyone brings in 3 to 4 up to 5 cards to stop? Macro is not good at all. It's just not a good card. Everyone brings in Dust Tornadoes, MSTs, Twisters. It's insane, and you side it in, and it never really resolves, and it never stays on the board too long anyway. So it never does anything. I mean, like some more of the hottest tech that I had actually was throughout the sideboard. Let's see. Let me get this off. Get out of the way. The side deck was actually pretty interesting as well. For the side deck, I had a second Vanities. People say why second Vanities and this and this and this, because Mermail is actually a really good deck. It's still in the runnings right now as we speak to win. So, you know, I just figure you have to have something that can get over Mermails. And the card of the day in the side deck against mostly everything, especially MVP against Mermails, Banisher of Radiance. This card is insane. Nothing in a Mermail deck can get over a Banisher of Radiance. Nothing at all. You have a Dragoons that you can KO over, that's your 1 out. You have Dragoons, Dark Hole, or you can KO with Abyss Spike, but you won't be able to resolve effects. You can't drop Megalo. You can't do anything. Back behind Vanity's Emptiness, this is the 2-card combo that just destroys. It wins games all the time. It wins games. Banisher, Mermails, I didn't lose the Mermails. I lost to 2 decks that I felt like I really wasn't supposed to lose to. So, I mean, in hindsight, I would just side the Veilers. Drop the Imps, throw in 2 Effect Veilers. That's the only thing that I would really change from the list. But outside of that, I mean, I feel like, coming to the event, a lot of people said I was doing a lot of, I was doing a lot of talking about I had the best Rabbit deck and why my deck was so much better than everyone else's and things like that, and it was true. But I mean, in the end, I was the last Rabbit player left in the entire tournament. I mean, that being said, I mean, just being more modest about it, I was really comfortable with my deck. I loved it. This build may not work for everyone, but this build does work for me. I mean, I encourage you to try it. If people want to try it, I encourage you to try it out. It's definitely, a lot of people are definitely going to, this card is MVP. A lot of people are going to start playing it more, man it in a Rabbit. It's going to get a lot of play. A lot of people are going to start playing it. It was under the radar, but it's like I said, Royal Oppression was banned for a reason. So.
All right, well, thank you for your time. Any shout-outs you want to give out?
Shout out to you, of course, Anthony. You follow this guy, subscribe, do a lot of things like that. Shout out to my teammate, Joe Torres. He gave me one of the hottest techs is the Tragodia tech, as I said before. That's it. Shout out to everybody back in Austin, Texas. I didn't bring it home. Second YCS is my second top in a row, finishing 6th place. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but I'm gonna